Boros, man. When I first started playing Commander, the pundits around the Commander space, I mean, this was in 2013, you know what I'm saying? Boros, red and white, was considered the worst color combo. That was over 12 years ago, man, and I think we're in a very different place today. So let's chat about it. But first, let's subscribe to the channel, brother. This channel has seen tremendous growth over the past few years. It's all thanks to you guys, the patrons, the YouTube members, and the Discord desperados out there. I love you guys. Now, Boros was considered kind of crappy because it sucked at the two pillars of Commander deck building. You need card draw and you need a ramp. In the old days, you had to rely on artifacts for both. And those tools, those artifact tools, have gotten a lot better in the past 12 years. Now, white has what they call catch-up ramp, where if your opponent has more lands than you go fetch a land. Which, let's face it, your opponents are going to have more lands than you. You know, red has a ton more impulse draw. Red also has a bunch more wheels than they used to have back in the old days. And listen, I've never really had a problem building Boros, even in the bad old days, but in 2025, I think it's honestly fine. In fact, one of my very first Commander decks was Jor Kadeen the Prevailer. Look at this guy, looks like Richard Gere in Eyes Wide Shut. Richard Gere wasn't even in that movie, or was he? You don't really know because they all wear masks. You know what I'm saying? 3 red and white for a legendary creature, human warrior. It's a 5/4. Has first strike, which is pretty decent right there. Also has metal craft. Creatures you control get +3/+0 as long as you control 3 or more artifacts, and that includes this guy. As long as my hand holds a blade, there's hope for a pure Mirrodin once again. I just really like this card. It gives you a concrete direction to build in. You want lots of artifacts, lots of little tokens, preferably little flyers, thopters, stuff like that. That +3 the power is a real threat. It makes him a Voltron threat too. It's not a bad build around. To this very day, I think this card is pretty rad. Now, through the years, Boros got some sweet tools. Kind of got its own identity, and that's centered around equipment. You know, a set doesn't go by that we don't get a Boros equipment commander. I love equipment. I have a couple decks. It's tough to find a Boros commander that breaks that mold. But don't worry, old Nicky G is here with some unique Boros commanders. Maybe you've never seen these before. Maybe you have, and maybe you just want to walk down memory lane with me for a little bit, dude. Let's walk down memory lane. I put on my Little Lord Fauntleroy knickers. It's like 75 degrees out. Let's go for a walk, brother. Now let's start with a fairly unique fella that I did build a deck around, the Jolly Balloon Man. 1 red and a white, legendary creature, human clown, just like Nicky G, right? It's a 1/4, has haste, has 1 untap, create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control, except it's a 1/1 red balloon creature in addition to its other colors and types, and has flying and haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step, activate only as a sorcery. It's a very unique character, man. He's blowing these dudes. He's blowing these dudes up, man. Blowing them up, making little token copies. This is nuts in a deck built around powerful ETB effects, but you really need to be doing something with those tokens to win. It's a creative little build around. It's a neat card if you want to play some kind of balloon-loving psychopath it clown, and I like him. Now, this was a very popular commander for a while, Feather the Redeemed, red, white, white. That's 3 mana. Legendary creature angel. It's a 3/4 with flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature you control, exile that card instead of putting it into your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. This is a very creative build around. You get to look at instants and sorceries that make Feather a real threat, and all those little protection cards, stuff like that. This card is super cheap. You have a fairly well-trodden build path if you want to go down the path that other people have trodden before you, brother, but it's very unique in these colors. You're basically getting infinite value off your little combat tricks, your pump spells. Instant and sorcery payoffs are really great in this deck. Make it a weird Voltron commander. Feather can really be wild and be a real threat, man. And then we have the Bald Beast out of Baldur's Gate, Duke Ulder of Ravengard. This guy's 4 red and a white, legendary creature, human noble soldier. It's a 5/5. It's a pretty beefy boy there. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and myriad until end of turn. Oh, that is so rad, dude. This card, man, people sleep so hard on Duke Ulder. We did a commander draft and I pulled this guy, and all of a sudden I was myriading a damn ancient gold dragon, which was another card I pulled out of that little draft that we did. This was such a fun set, man. It's amazing. I mean, getting all those ETB effects is just so rad, dude. Duke Ulder is great in the 99 of so many decks too. He's a bald Boros badass brother. Now you want a handsome, sexy, beautiful man with a shimmering steering wheel? That's Gerard, the Weatherlight hero. This guy's 2 red and a white, legendary creature, human soldier. It's a 3/3, has first strike. When this guy dies, exile it and return to the battlefield all artifacts and creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. You need sack outlets, board wipes, stuff like that. Build a board, sacrifice for value, sack Gerard, get it all back. Or just wait till a board wipe happens, get all your stuff back, put them back in the command zone. Gerard is that stained glass aesthetic done right. Stuff that sacrifices itself like Mind Stone. It's pretty great too. Commander Sphere. All those little eggs, brother. Remember, Gerard hits artifacts as well. Gives a pretty clear build path to build into. Now this is one of my favorites because it's a very unique build around that takes a lot of thought, dude. You gotta use your brain sometimes. You can't just sit in front of the TV and vegetate. And that's Taii Wakeen, the perfect shot. So this is red and white, a legendary creature, human mercenary. It's a 2/3. Whenever a source you control deals a non-combat damage to a creature equal to that creature's toughness, draw a card. Has X and tap. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player this turn, it deals that much damage plus X instead. You'd better keep yourself out of my sights. Snipers, dude. We've been romanticizing snipers forever. Listen, man, I would know. I'm secretly a top military sniper, and it's mostly sitting there perfectly still in some weeds, just waiting for somebody to walk into view. Anyways, man, I'm just kidding, dude. I never been near any sniper guns, let alone guns, dude. I'm not a big gun fella. It's a fun little build around. You have all these scalable damage effects you can tailor to your opponent's creatures. Draw a grip of cards, snipe down some problem creatures, you know? It ain't equipment, I'll tell you that. Alright, I got one more for you, and it's actually 2 minotaurs. 2 creatures, but they're on the same card, dude. Firesong and Sunspeaker is 4 red and a white legendary creature minotaur cleric. It's a 4/6. Red instant and sorcery spells you control have a lifelink. Whenever a white instant or sorcery spell causes you to gain life, Firesong and Sunspeaker deals 3 damage to target creature or player. The peaks of her loon never fall silent. Straight out of a damn World of Warcraft Minotaur Enclave. These fella have all kinds of math involved when you're doing it, and everybody loves doing math out there, right? But the damage stacks up. You get to use one of the coolest cards out there in Magic. And that's Lightning Helix, red and white for an instant. Lightning Helix deals 3 damage to any target, you gain 3 life. Okay, let's parse this out a little bit, right? You do the 3 damage, gain 3 life, but it has lifelink, so you gain another 3 life. That triggers the commander. It triggers him twice, so that's 9 damage in 3 damage increments, and you gain 6 life for 2 mana. Then just retire your deck. Never play it again. That's it pretty much, you know. But it is kind of a fun build around. You can build into either part of this, you know. Having your red instant sorcery spells have lifelink means those big damage dealers gain you a whole grip of life, dude. You can pay that off in a variety of ways too. Now you guys can let me know in the comments below if I screwed up Lightning Helix with Firesong and Sunspeaker out there. You know, listen man, it's a lot of math, dude, and when I write these things I'm pretty tired at the end of the day, because I work a full-time job, you know what I'm saying? But that's better, Commander, for today. I got some dinner I gotta make. Listen, say what you want. Cabbage is an awesome recession food. Say what you want about me, but don't touch my cabbage, dude. It's like Polish candy, brother. Saute it up in a pan with some butter, salt, pepper. Throw an onion in there if you want to get fancy. Put that over some rice or some mashed potatoes or some pasta. Get your protein in there, a couple veggie burgers. You're going to be in heaven, brother. Saute those veggie burgers up with some sesame oil. Trust me on this one. You're going to have diarrhea. Nikki G, Better Commander, signing off.